workout is going to be demonstrated by me today. I'm going to be doing seated and standing exercises for all ages and abilities. We've had up to the age of 100 join us from a care home, but this workout is great for anyone younger as well. Anyone sitting too long, this is what I demonstrate in some of my workplace wellness talks. Easy exercises we can do anytime we're sitting too long at our desks or on the sofa. There's hundreds saved in the Feel Good playlist on YouTube. Please make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you get notified of all the new content. And if you'd like to join me on Zoom, I have an amazing Zoom community that I'm waving to at the moment. Just join my free newsletter on my website, feelgoodwithlavina.com. It will send you all the details. I send out session reminders on a special WhatsApp group, and I also send out links in between so that you can try and do 2 to 3 of these workouts a week if possible, but also lots of exercise snacking. There's a whole playlist of exercise snacks on my YouTube channel as well. So let's get started. We always start with a moment of breath work. So do take a seat. This is to calm the body and mind. I've just flown back from holiday with some flight delays to Gatwick, so got back very late last night. So I definitely need this myself and didn't want to move or not do this workout. So let's take a moment just to breathe. Close your eyes. Rest your hands on your lap, maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly is lovely. It's really comforting. And try and breathe in and out through your nose. Nasal breathing has a lot of science behind it. I've written all about it in my best-selling book, The Feel Good Fix. If you don't know, have a little read of the breath chapter. And we're going to just do a minute, what I call a mindful minute or a breath snack. We're going to try and just breathe in for 4 and exhale for 6. Something really simple you can do anywhere to calm the body and mind. Get us ready for this workout. So I'll guide you just a few rounds, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep your eyes closed. Just have a little sense check. Do you feel a little bit calmer? I certainly do. Just 5 rounds there, less than a minute or so. We're going to rub our hands, keeping our eyes closed, generate some heat, and then place those hands over your closed eyes. Take a positive inhale. On the next exhale, just open the eyes gently, let a little bit of light in with those hands still there. Bring a smile to your beautiful face. Inhale and exhale, just release the hands away. How are we feeling? So that is your moment of breath work. And I'm just going to make sure that I can see everyone on my Zoom screen there. I can see you all with your cameras on. YouTube, how are you feeling? Do engage with me whenever you do this workout. Drop a comment. So we're going to start doing our mobility now to warm the joints and the muscles. We can stay seated or standing. I'll demonstrate standing, but please do it seated if you can't stand. We're going to start with some lovely circles of our neck. So just rotating, thinking about a clock face in front of you with your chin or your nose. You're going all the way around that clock, circling out any tension, relaxing the shoulders, then change direction. Tune into your breath that we just did. Use that lovely deep breathing to fuel the muscles with all the oxygen that it needs during this lovely low impact workout today that I hope makes you feel really good. Bring it back to neutral. We are often rounded in our backs, so we're all sitting too long. So we're going to do my desk reset snack. If you don't know it, it's the analogy of a desk. It's all in my book with QR codes to videos. Bringing the shoulders up, back and down. So hopefully from here, you are now up, back and down. Do it a few times. Any point in the workout, you feel like your posture needs a little check. Any point in your day, this is the best snack to reset your posture. You should be taller, your back should be straight, your shoulders should be nice and relaxed, and your chest nice and open. So try and think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. Think about engaging your stomach through this workout. And then we're going to start adding in some arm circles, just circling around. See how it feels. If you might hear some little clicks. So we want to lubricate those joints. Maybe one side is feeling nice and smooth. Breathing through, seated or standing. Obviously, I'm going to show you options for both to make this very accessible to everyone. And then coming forward, circling through. If you are able to stand, obviously I encourage you to stand because standing is definitely better than sitting. But if you're unable to, just do this seated. How is that feeling? Good work. Lovely. We're going to do a few spinal twists. So just keeping your hands behind your head. And instead of being here, we're going to try and open the elbows out. So even that should expand the chest. And then we're just going to keep everything forwards, our hips as well. We're twisting through our spine. Just a little twist to one side. Exhale, inhale, back to the middle. Breathe out and breathe in. Good. Let's try it seated as well. This is quite a nice one. Just to do when you're watching TV or if you're sitting for long periods at your desk. Just twisting round, opening out that spine. Giving it a bit of love today. Give me a smile, everyone. You are here. You're investing in your health. Super, super work. And relax. So if you are seated, this will be easier. We're going to rotate our wrists and our ankles. If you're standing, you know I encourage balance work, but you must always have support. Make sure you do not fall. You could try balancing on one leg and then make sure you've got your support there, but please have that if you've only been practicing balance, which you know we're coming to balance snacks every day, which I encourage. Circle out the other way. We're now getting our brains involved, those neurons firing up the coordination. Can you feel that? We're just giving our ankles, our wrists some love. And then the other side, so either seated or standing. It's obviously harder standing with a bit of balance. Well done. Change directions, which can be a little bit tricky. Get the brain going. You know, I always say physical activity is one of the best ways to reduce our risks of dementia and Alzheimer's. Being an ambassador for Alzheimer's Society, always encouraging these different movements. They look easy, but we are challenging and working our brains as we do them. And then last one, we're going to do sunflowers, one of my favorites. So hands on opposite elbows. I can see my mum on Zoom. She loves this one too. So we're going to come forwards, even if you're seated on the chair, just bringing your chest towards your thighs. And then we're going to roll up one side like a beautiful sunflower. Expand, go nice and tall at the top. Exhale, coming down the other side. I'll show you seated. This is a lovely one to really open out the vertebra. Straighten up at the top as much as you can. Like a sunflower in the sunshine. It feels really good, seated or standing. Just adding a little bit of movement. We've got also the blood flow going to your brain as you're coming down and coming all the way back up, expanding the back, the vertebra, just getting everything nice and mobile and loose. Well done. We're also going to add in my feel good hugs, a signature move, just to open out. So like a seated or standing cat-cow, I want you to really think about opening the arms, breathe in, extend your tailbone, lift through your chin, so arch the back, and then round the back as you hug yourself this morning, or whenever you do this saved workout on YouTube, give yourself a hug, but that's rounding the back, and then opening, seated or standing, and rounding. Just do a couple of those. This is just quite a nice way to expand. Use our breath. Inhale. Last one. Give yourselves a hug. A bit of self-love is always great as well. And then last one, I'll show you standing first. We're going to have our feet a bit wider. So if you can stand, please stand. Get your arms up into a lovely star position. And then we're going to rotate, try and touch the toe with the opposite hand and open up. Lovely. So opposite arm and toe touches. You could do this seated. How does that feel? That feels pretty good. Better than sitting still. And remember, there's more and more research coming out about just moving for a minute. While I was away in Spain, there was a lot in the press, which I'll be sharing about. A new study, again, in my book, I've referenced 40 pages of studies about exercise snacking. But 1 minute of more intense, vigorous exercise, which we will do today, is brilliant for your long-term health to reduce risks of so many chronic diseases. So even a minute counts. Even just something like this, if you sprinkle in your day, doesn't that feel good? And relax. Okay, so let's hopefully feel a bit warmer, joints a bit lubricated, give it a few shoulder rolls. Let's get stepping. So we're going to step indoors, we're going to get our steps in. You know that even 4,000 steps a day is brilliant for your health. Some people aim for 10,000, but whatever works for you, I want you to think about seated or standing steps so we can start moving our arms. If you're able to, if you haven't got any bone issues, no osteoarthritis, think about putting a little bit of force through your bones to help them repair, rebuild. That's really important for our bone density, but otherwise just take it nice and light. So here you can hear me. I've hit the menopause, so I'm really conscious of my bone health. And I know that osteoporosis is so prevalent from midlife and beyond. So I'm trying to stomp. You can go faster. You could even go into a bit of a jog if you needed to. You could take it nice and slow. We're going for about that minute, yeah? So we're still going if we can. If you need to stop and start, please stop and start. This is your workout. You've got to make it work for you. You go as slow or as fast as you can. That's it. Can we go a little bit more? Now, I want you to count out loud with me. We're counting down from 10. This again is using your brain while you're moving. 9, 8, come on, imagine I can hear you. 7, 6, I can see my Zoom community. Well done. YouTube, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, how are you feeling? Good. I think that might be over a minute. But that is the study, yeah, we were talking about. A minute of more vigorous, slightly intense. Can you feel your heart rate go up? You can hear it on my voice. It's a little bit sore today after the traveling, but relax and breathe. So I want your heart rate to go down. Now in this time, obviously, you could just do a few little circles. You could just let the heart rate go down. You could maybe add a little bit of tapping. Should we do a little tapping snack quickly? This is a nice one to get all the meridians. So we're going to start at the top of our little fingertips touching over our temples, our forehead, maybe on your cheekbone, just giving yourself a little bit of tapping time as your heart rate comes down. Under and above your chin is lovely. Then down to your shoulder bones here. The front of your chest feels good. Down the arms feels lovely. Anywhere you feel feels good. And then maybe even giving yourself a little bit of tapping all the way down the body feels really good. So hopefully we've recovered for that little cardio snack. We're going to go into another cardio snack now. We'll try for a minute, but don't worry if you can't do a full minute. We're going to add in a little bit of boxing. So here's where it gets interesting. Not only is boxing one of my favorite stress relievers, it is great if you grab some tin cans, because then we're starting to add a little bit of weight if you're ready. So if you can, please stand. Good work. And if you can't, please stay seated, but try and stand, because you're going to get the benefits through your body, your legs, all your muscles working. So we're going to start punching out. I want you to stress release. If you're doing it just body weight with your hands, that's fine. I can see lots of my Zoom community doing it with dumbbells. They're so impressive. Wow, lots of you have been joining, and they're in their 70s, 80s, 90s for years. Some of you have been joining me. Let's punch it out. Punch, punch, punch. Move those feet. You could go fast or slow. If you get tired, please rest. Let's go for about 20 more seconds if we can. We're nearly there. And then we're going to count down together again. If you can't do it, don't worry. This is there safe for you as a little goal. Let's count down. 10, 9, 8. Well done, everyone. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Well done. Be careful with your weights. Just put them down. Tin cans are brilliant. Could you do that when the kettle's boiling in your kitchen? Could you do it when you're making dinner? Just add a little sprinkle. Even there's studies in my book, 7 seconds, even 4 seconds higher intensity. You're still getting all the hot pumping, the respiratory system. How are we feeling? Are we good? We often do that out of 10, out of breath. 0 is where you're asleep. 10 is where, Lavina, I can't do any more. What was it like after the boxing? Not now, but straight after the boxing. Do you want to show me or write it in YouTube? 7 out of 10. I'm about 7 or 8. Taruna Auntie's a 7. What were you after the boxing? Sonal's in her garden. 8. Lovely. My mum is a 7. Great work. I can see lots of you there. So let's do one last one. We're doing 3 minutes. If it's too much for you, just do 10 seconds, rest, rejoin. The last one we're going to do is some star jumps. So I keep these low impact, but you can go fast. You could jump if you wanted to, but these workouts are designed for all ages and abilities. So I want to keep them low impact. The seated version, as always, I do demonstrate. You could just bring one foot out at a time, or even both feet. We have started, guys. We're probably 20 seconds in. You'll be glad to know. Could you go any faster? And I want you to give yourselves that clap, because then you get the full rotation of those arms, if possible. Keep going. You could go faster for a little burst. You could add a few jumps in if you really wanted to, but I'm only showing low impact here. Come on, guys. 20 seconds left, I think. Can we go? If you need to stop and start, please stop and start. Today's a little bit of a challenge with these 1-minute bursts. 10 seconds left. Come on, let's count down. Join with me. 9, 8, 7. Well done. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a huge clap at the end. Well done. How are we feeling, everyone? Breathe. Give yourselves a moment to bring that heart rate down. Take some deep breaths, fuel, get in lots of oxygen. Super work. So what were you like after that? I was about a 9. I don't know about you. If you want to share your numbers, please do. Good. My mum went up to an 8. Andrew was a 7. He's keeping very fit. So it's relative, right? We have got Vaisha, who's also an 8 as well. Vinu Uncle, everyone that's on Zoom, some of you will notice, and YouTube, that you will recover quicker. Vinu Uncle got to a 9 there, well done. If you are keeping fit, your stamina, your fitness is going to increase. You will recover quicker, right, as well. So now let's move into our strength training. Now, in between the exercises, I do give you that rest time. But if you want to add one of those moves in, you can, yeah? This is optional based on your energy levels, your effort today. So you could do boxing, you could even do star jumps, or you could add in a bit of cardio. But we're going to start with our really important wall press-ups. I will show the seated version. If you know the wall press-up, please go to a nice sturdy wall and start. And I will go through form and technique. This is our upper body strength move. Seated option is hands on the thighs, but please stand up if you can. Even go to your kitchen counter if you're progressing to a lower surface. And then you're going to push, if you're seated, against the thighs, elbows are bent, and we're really bending, straightening, trying to target all the upper body muscles. So this is your seated version. Back is straight and you're holding your stomach muscles in. Standing version, I'm going to just change our camera slightly so you can see me against the wall. Hands are at shoulder height, nice and wide. My body is a straight line coming towards the wall. Inhaling, bending the elbows, exhaling, pushing back. It might look easy, but I want you to really tighten all the muscles. Focus on bringing that chest towards the wall. Straight body, even if you're lower surface at your kitchen counter for progression. Obviously, we can do floor press-ups, but in this workout, I just show the wall and maybe a lower surface, not on the floor, but my book has videos to all of the press-ups, how to go through perfect form. To make it harder, you can move your feet further away. Inhale, exhale. Let's aim for about 10 to 15 today. Some of you have been doing 10, so we could add a few more reps to make it more challenging. Try and come all the way. Inhale, exhale. Let me have a quick peek on Zoom. Well done, Andrew, Tarun Auntie. Well done, YouTube. How did we find that? Are we good? Super, super work. So have a little seat. We're going to then add into our little tricep today. That's 3 exercises we're going to do for our upper body. We're going to add in our shoulder press. So after we've worked that big compound move of our press-ups, which I would love you to do every day, or at least 3 times a week, press-ups, to build your strength. And the more muscle mass you have, the better it is for weight loss, for blood sugar levels, for our independence as we age, especially moves like this. This is the shoulder press. You're going to hold maybe tin cans. If you're new to weights, that's the best way. Try and keep your wrists straight. I'm looking at mine, and if you could do it in front of a mirror, that's best. Try and keep your wrists nice and straight if you hold any weight. Palms are forward. I'm going to show you can do this seated as well. You're going to lift up nice and evenly, like you're putting something up on a shelf to stay independent. Inhale, exhale. Breathe out. Now go nice and slow. So even if we were going 3, 2, 1, press up, and 3, 2, 1. Everything is trying to stay nice and symmetrical with weight. So if you need a mirror, please practice this after this workout or play it back. Do it in front of the mirror. The heavier the weights, obviously the more challenging, the more muscle you're going to build. If it's too difficult, please keep that good form, core tight, back straight. Nothing is swinging. I'm just going nice and slow, up and down. Let's try and do 2 more if you can. If you can't, please just go to your level. The last couple should be a bit challenging. That's when you know you're on the right weight. And down. Could you feel that? We went lovely and slow there. Super, super work. Now, holding maybe a slightly heavier weight to see how you feel. We're going to add in our bicep curls. So we're going to have our desk reset snack. This is really important. Even if you're seated, shoulders back, core tight. My elbows stay glued to my body. My palms are facing forward, and now I'm curling up nice and slow, and then I'm releasing that down. Try and keep your wrists straight. Breathe out. Inhale. Can we go nice and slow, even on that movement down, the negative movement? Here we're thinking about the muscles that help us carry things, pick up things, grandchildren, shopping bags. Think about why we are moving today. It's not about how we look. I always say exercise for sanity, not vanity. That's my trademark slogan. But I want you to think about not only this is helping our mental health, which it really is, but how we can age, how we can try and keep as mobile, as independent, as strong as possible. How many have we done? We're going for about 10 or 12. Can you feel it? Visualize these muscles here. As we're doing it, that mind to muscle connection. Let's go for 3 more if we can. Nice and slow. If it's light, go even slower. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Keep those elbows close to your body. Last one, big smiles. You're nearly there. And relax. How are we feeling? Well done. So super work. Give yourselves a clap. We're going to very quickly do that all again. This time, obviously, if the weights are hard, you've got time to adjust it. You could grab some plastic bottles, some tin cans, any safe household objects. If you don't have different weights, you know I don't want you to fork out lots of expensive accessories, but do what you can. Circle out, maybe give yourselves a little release before we go into the next set. So let's try and do that all again. Think about your press-ups. Were they challenging enough? Do you have a kitchen counter? Obviously not when anything's cooking, but in the kitchen when the kettle's boiling, I try and get my press-ups done just because I know that's going to build that upper body strength, which is really difficult. If you can progress, maybe add in a couple of reps. So let's get going with the press-ups again, against the wall or against a lower surface, like a table against the wall. Just do what you can. Again, remembering that you're going nice and slow. So let's get this important move in if we can. I will show you the seated version again as well. Think about your whole body going as a straight line. So don't hinge at the hips and leave your back and hips behind. Try and bring them through. You can go on your tiptoes if it's comfortable or flat feet. Inhale, exhale, bending those arms, breathing out, bringing your body weight towards the wall and away. I'm just showing you the seated option here. For anyone that can't stand for whatever reason, just try a few of these. They're still better than not doing anything, and it's still encouraging your muscles to work. They're not inactive. We just don't want muscles to get idle. We want them to get nice and strong and build that lean muscle mass. When you've done about 10 to 12 to maybe 15, circle out your wrists, come back to your chair or wherever I can see you. If you're on Zoom or YouTube, give me a little thumbs up, let me know. And then we are going into the shoulder press. What we could add to make it a little bit more interesting, if you fancy, is we could add a little bit of coordination for our brains again. So we could do a single, then another single, and then a double. Do what you can, what works for you. If you don't like that one, just stick to the normal shoulder press. So I'm going to do a single, and a double. Really breathe out on that big press up. So use your breathing. We're getting our shoulders lovely and strong. If this doesn't work for you, if there's any pain or anything with your own body, please find an exercise and replace it. You could easily just do some marching on the spot. You could just do some arm circles. Just think about what you could do. You could obviously do some more press-ups if you don't like this one. Just make this workout feel good for you. Let's go for 2 more sets. So whatever you're doing, single, and a big double. Lovely, last one. Ooh, I can feel these. I hope you can feel them, but still maintain good form. Well done, you're amazing. Adjusting the weight or keeping the same weight, we're going to go into our bicep curls. So let's have a moment just to reset, desk reset snack. Keep those elbows glued together, shoulders back. You're curling that straight weight. So keeping your wrists really nice and straight, especially as you go heavier with the weights. I want you to protect your wrists. It is called progressive overload. That's how our muscles get stronger. And I always say to people that weight management, losing weight is important in the sense that it can reduce risk of so many chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, from cancers to so many things like osteoporosis and Alzheimer's. But muscle building is what's going to help you there, because you burn more calories at rest, the more muscle mass you have. So breathing out and in. So Cardio plays a role in my feel-good fitness prescription, but I want all ages to be doing some sort of strength training, even if it's just your body weight. We want to really work those muscles and bones. Let's go for 2 more if we can, seated or standing. Big smiles, you're getting lovely and strong, and relax. How do we all feel? So give me a gauge here. It's not like the cardio number, but out of 10, how did you challenge yourself? Did you really challenge yourself? You know, are you like a 6, 7, 8? Was it too much? Was it a 10? Sonal is holding up a 9, I think. Well done. So that's really good with your strength training. If you're new to it, it could be a 5. But think about how you're feeling today and maybe adjust the weights, or maybe play this workout back. It's saved for you. And then go a little bit heavier if you can in the future. Now we're going to do our leg exercises. We're all going to start lower body strength. We're going to give you a few options here. We're going to do leg extensions just to warm up the legs again. So here I'm lifting one foot off the ground. I'm straightening the leg, but I'm thinking about these muscles here, my quadriceps. You could add a few holds in. This is your seated option. You could really feel these muscles. This is what helps support your knees. So these are your single leg extensions, but you could hold out for a few seconds and really feel those. That's level 1. Level 2, you know, is thinking about how we can stand ourselves, but we're going to call them sit and stands like I always do. With the support of your chair, your feet are about just over shoulder width. Your knees always go out in the same direction as your toes. You could use the chair to just come up a few inches and come down. You're starting to work and use all the lower body muscles. Breathing out, breathing in. That's level 2. If you have handles on your chairs, your armchair, then you could even use those. Whatever works for you. This is the level. Stand yourself. We're going to come all the way up. Now focus on your form. Can you see your toes? Have a little look as you come down and up. I'm only doing body weight, no extra weight here. I'm squeezing up. I'm standing and I'm going slowly down, touching the chair. Squeeze your glutes. These are the biggest muscles. Squeeze them at the top and inhale back. Can we do about 8 to 10, just body weight to start with? This is important because I want you to have proper form before you think about lifting any weight. So you could add a rucksack in the next set. We could then hold some weights here. But right now, can you feel this? And the slower I go down and the slower I go up, the more time under tension for my muscles as well. So how is this feeling, everyone? Are we good? Well done, keep going. Lovely. Just found a lovely little dog treat in my pocket for Bailey, who's very happy to see us after our holiday, my little cavapoo. One last one, squeeze up and down. Wow. So I hope you can feel that. Could you feel that? Yep. The second exercise we're going to do is going to be hip circles. I'm going to show you the seated version. If you know the standing one, get some support. You can start and I'll also demonstrate that. Seated is one leg and I'm just circling the hips. So I'm trying not to move my body too much. You could place your hands on the chair, but I'm trying to isolate my hip joint. We're going to do about 5 in one direction, 5 in the other direction, and then change legs. The standing option is with the support to start off with, unless you've been doing my balance snacks every day, brushing your teeth on one leg with the support of your sink. You might be getting really good at balance, then you could start thinking about reducing your fingers on the chair, maybe coming away fully. Change direction if you haven't. Think about staying still. Now I want you to isolate the hip joint, but I also want you to get that supporting leg nice and strong. This is the leg that's taking your body weight when you're doing these hip circles. Can you feel that? Circling through. Good. Just do a few more on each side if you can. Ooh, I can really feel that. When you're ready, change sides. So again, I'm going to show the seated version. Those standing might be doing a few more than 5 on each side. Do what you can, reset your spine, but circle out. I want you to work these hip joints. They get really tight, especially when we're sitting for long periods. So even just adding those in when you're sitting, obviously you have support, you're circling through. And by moving just that isolation, so this area, so not your upper body, you're really hopefully feeling that in your hips. Is your leg, if you're standing, that's taking your body weight, that's building strength as well. You could do these when the kettle's boiling. A bit of balance, right? You can move around, get these hips going and relax. And then the last one we're going to do is we're going to do calf raises. Option 1 is seated. So we're going to lift the heels up. We're going to try and hold for a few seconds and either drop them down if your bones are okay, no osteoarthritis. If you can, otherwise just up and down, nice and gentle. If you wanted to increase it on your seated option, you could even place some weights or tin cans on your thighs as a little bit of extra weight, up and down. Now this is the seated option. If you lift up onto your toes for a few seconds, that's going to really add in a little hold. The standing option is to go again by your chair or your wall for support. So everyone that can stand, please stand. And we're going to try and go up onto our tiptoes and down. If you want to drop the heels to activate the bones, please do. That's going to give it a little bit of safe impact for those that can, but it's a nice way to get that little drop. The soleus muscle in our calves is brilliant at absorbing excess blood sugar after meals. If you can't get out for a little walk or do your steps, even around the house, the stair snacking, which I used to talk about a lot in the pandemic. That's all explained in my book, up and down your stairs. If you can't do that and you're stuck at your table, or if you're watching TV, even 3 to 5 minutes of these heel raises is going to help balance out your blood sugar levels after a meal. So it's really, really effective. And that's going to help improve your mood, your energy levels, and your insulin sensitivity. Yep. There's a lot going on in this soleus muscle. They say it's like the second heart. That's what's going around at the moment. So that's our 3 exercises. We're going to whiz through very quickly again for lower body. So let's start with our leg extensions or our sit and stands or our squats, whatever you want to call them. I call them sit and stands just to make it, you know, really accessible every time you're sitting. If you've got a weight, pick up a weight. It could be 2 tin cans. It could be a rucksack. Think about your weight. If you've been doing these workouts with me for a while, please try and increase your weight. We're coming up really carefully and down. Check your knees are going out in line with your toes. I can see my toes. I'm squeezing my glutes and my core in. I'm breathing. Nice and powerful. This is really mimicking us being able to come off the toilet, out of bed ourselves, in and out of the car, all the things we take for granted, just out of a chair, sitting and standing. If you can't, you're doing your leg extensions, maybe with a weight, holding out for a few seconds. Keep going if you can, up and down. Obviously, I do squats without the chair, which you can do, but again, you're squeezing up, back nice and straight. You don't have to go super low if you've not got the chair. You build up that depth over time. Last 2, I think it is. Go to where you feel those last few repetitions. This is it, our big compound move. And relax. Well done. Your heart rate should be up. Because I'm lifting a 6 kg, it's not my heaviest, but I'm lifting a good weight. You can hear it on my heart rate. So like I said to you with the cardio, Are you feeling that? Yep, your heart rate should be lifted, but you're burning fat and building lean muscle. That's the beauty of strength training. So let's go into our hip circles. But this time we're just going to do 5 in each direction on each leg. So we're going to do seated or standing. We're going to just really isolate those hips. If you're able to balance, please balance, because then you're adding in your balance snack as well. Have that support if you need it. Think about those hips really working. Change direction. Breathe. This is a little bit of active recovery. And then change legs for me as well as you move over to the other leg. Lovely. Can you feel that? Really working that big ball and socket joints in our hips. Try the other side. These are really effective. You could do these lying down in bed, lifting the leg up, circling out as well. I've got some bed exercise snacks in that big playlist on YouTube as well. Have a little look at those. And then last exercise for our lower body is our calf raises. So again, if you're standing, think about lifting up onto your tiptoes, drop down. You can maybe add a few holds. So lifting up for 3, 2, 1, and down. 3, 2, 1, and down. We could do the same seated. Keep going for me. Lift up, 2, 3, and down. Lift up, 2, 3, and down. Keep it going. Lifting up, 2, 3, and down. Up. Can you feel it? 3 and down. Core tight, back straight. Lift up, 2, 3, and down. Last 2. We're nearly there. 2, 3, and down. Last one. Up, 2, 3, and release. Well done, everyone. Now, there's one exercise that we haven't forgotten, but we're going to hopefully grab a belt, a band, a pair of old tights. Some of you know, I can see Vaishanti on Zoom, the shoulder floss, which you know I want you to do every day. I do this after brushing my teeth with my 10 squats, I do a bit of hopping or star jumps for my bones. You don't have to do that, but I also add in this shoulder floss. Like we flush our teeth, this is a nice movement to try and encourage that whole ball and socket joint to stay mobile in our shoulders. You don't have to go all the way up and over with straight arms to begin with. That is the goal, to be really symmetrical in front of your mirror. Again, check this. You could bend the arms. You could even just go as far as your body allows. You could obviously do these seated when you're watching TV. If you are seated, you could carry on adding your heel raises in, even here, while you're doing it for multitasking. Keep going. And now the tighter you hold your band, the more you're going to work those muscles. You're going to feel that resistance. And you could use a belt here. Yep, you don't need anything fancy. But this is a lovely movement just to end with. Breathing in and out. Can we feel that lactic acid? A little bit of a burning sensation on the arms. Maybe working them because we've really worked them this workout. Super work. Last one for luck. Smile and relax. Well done. Give yourselves a big clap, and you're not rushing off. You have to stretch with me because that's the most important bit to reduce risks of injuries. So we're going to start today with 2 options depending on your knees. If you've got any knee issues, you can have a seated hug of one leg and rotate the ankle. So I'm sitting up nice and straight. I'm hugging that knee in and I'm going to rotate my ankle. You're going to do that for a good 10 to 20 seconds. The standing option is more hard. So just think about having support, maybe trying to get your hand into your foot at the back. It's just resting on that hand, and I'm keeping everything straight. My knees together, my hips aligned, and I'm stretching out the front of my thigh. Don't do this if it's difficult. See how you feel, and then you can bring your heel even towards your glute. but just see how you feel. This is a really, and make sure you've got support, yep. Obviously this is balance work as well. If it doesn't work for you, please do the seated option, which I'll show again on the other side. Seated or standing, so if you're seated, just hugging the knee in, rotating the ankle. If you're standing, you've got the support. So this one I'll show you from the front. I've got my knees together, my hips in line. You're holding on to support. I just do these every day so I know I can balance. And then you're straightened. You should feel that stretch on the front of your thigh there if you're standing. And you can also try and bring that heel towards your glute at the back. It's quite a hard stretch. And obviously, do not balance unless you're really good at balance. I want you to hold support for this one and release. Well done. Another one is to try and put one foot on the opposite leg. That could be hard enough, yep. Just getting to here to open out the hips. If that's difficult for you, maybe just open out the legs and try and lean forward, yeah? But I'm gonna show you this one. You can put your foot on opposite knee, then do, and you're just easing out, gently pushing that knee, maybe coming forwards with your chest towards your shin, and this toe is flexing towards you. So that toe is pointing towards that bent knee, if that makes sense. This is a lovely one to practice maybe on the sofa. Let's change sides. So foot on one leg and then leaning forward if that's difficult. You could even just have both legs out and lean forward. But I want you to try and encourage opening out the hips that we've just worked. Breathing, flexing that foot that's resting on your leg. Your chest towards the shin. Well done, everyone. You've done amazing work today. We're going to have both legs out in front of us. So get comfy on your seat. I want your legs to be nice and straight. Try and bring your toes towards you in that flex position. You're going to lift your arms up. Get a full body stretch in here. We've done so well. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale. You're going to bring your body towards your thighs. You don't have to touch your toes. You can just rest your hands on your shins, even on your thighs. Relax your head, neck and shoulders and just breathe. But what I want you to feel is some length in the legs, nice and straight if possible. So you feel a lovely stretch coming all the way down the back of your legs. If this is really difficult for you, you could use a band or belt and just tie it around the balls of your feet and then encourage your chest. But relax your head, neck and shoulders. Hold it here for a couple of seconds and release it up. Well done. If you're able to stand, please stand. If you're not, stay seated. We're going to lean over one side, maybe resting your hand on your thighs. If you're standing, feet nice and wide as well. And we're just leaning over. We're going to give me a little wave here. Can you feel that nice stretch down the side of your body? Inhale, exhale, other side, reaching over. Give me another little wave. Maybe look up at that hand. Can you feel that? That feels really, really good. We've worked our shoulders, so let's give that a nice stretch out. We're going to have one arm in front of us, other hand above or below the elbow. You're going to draw that arm in towards your body and look over that shoulder. So you can do this seated as well. We're just going to stretch out that shoulder. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Holding, bring that arm towards your body as much as you can. You should feel it in your upper back, your shoulder. Good. Release it off. Other side. So I know these stretches can be hard. I at first found stretching very difficult because I was not flexible, really tight, but I promise if you do stretch snacks every day, build it in somehow before bed or on the sofa, it's going to really benefit you and reduce risks of injury, keep you flexible. And then the last one, our biceps that we did. So straight arm, seated or standing, I'm going to bring the other hand on the palm and just push the fingers gently towards me. So you should feel a nice stretch on that front of the arm. So if you can, that's it. So palms are down and forwards. Lovely. And release. Obviously, if you've got time, replay this. Hold your stretches for 15 to 30 seconds. I have got lots in my book. Let's see if I open up. Oh, look what I opened up on. Seated stretch snack. Exactly what we need to do. 192, page 192. You scan that QR code with your camera and it takes you straight to a follow along video. So this could be the homework this week. Page 192. Anyone on Zoom, give me a thumbs up if you're going to do this one. Any point in the weekend or the week, get this one done. I would love you to do that. If you've got my book, it's always on offer on Amazon. Do try and grab a copy. And then let's do our last feel-good hug like we did in the workout. But I want you to really congratulate yourself. Seated or standing, big positive inhale, exhale. I'm giving a big hug to all of you for joining. I'm so proud of everyone. All I ask is for you to share these workouts with your friends and family so I can help as many people as I possibly can. That would be the wish and my request today. We're going to do my feel-good finish as we always do, seated or standing. I'll do one seated and then stand. We're going to lift our arms up. Take a nice positive inhale, breathing in positivity. Exhale, release any tension, negativity, stress, bringing those arms down. Let's do another one. I hope you are feeling good. Take a big positive inhale. You invested in your physical, mental health. You are reducing your risks of so many chronic illnesses just by the power of movement. Joining in today, I'm very proud of you. Final one, positive inhale. Capture it this time. Hands meet at the top. Bring that positivity down to your heart center. Close your eyes for 1 second before you run off to your busy lives. I do have positive affirmations in my book. Say something positive to yourself, like, well done, Lavina. I am strong, I am happy, I am healthy in this present moment. Just say something loving and kind to yourself. I'm very proud of you. Give yourselves a clap. Super well done. I talk to my Zoom community now. So if you'd like to join on Zoom, it's on my free newsletter on my website, feelgoodwithlavina.com. Do drop me a comment on YouTube whenever you do this workout. I love the feedback. It keeps me motivated to continue these free feel-good workouts. I had to do it on my own today. My mother-in-law's not able to join, but there's hundreds saved for you and some in Gujarati as well, if it can help anyone in the South Asian community. Thank you, YouTube. I'm going to go and talk to Zoom now. Lots and lots of love. And do try and do these sessions 2 to 3 times a week, please, to hit the government guidelines. But if you can't, remember, every little minute counts. Sprinkle exercise snacks in. 1 or 2 of these exercises picked through the day. You're going to keep moving, ideally every hour. Every 30 minutes would be even better. Lots of love. Stay well, and I will see you next week. Oh, good. Lots of comments on here on YouTube saying, yes, I feel